Now to breaking news. I mentioned earlier the Jew hatred that's exploded over Australia. Well, earlier this week I had David Adler on this show. He's head of the Australian Jewish Association. Now, about 6 months ago, he was about to give evidence to a Senate inquiry on supposed misinformation when his association was sent a death threat. David Adler joins me now. David, good to see you again. You've now, just a couple of hours ago, been rung by the Australian Federal Police. What did they tell you?
We were called actually in the morning and advised that an arrest had been made, which is good news. We first met with the special unit that is focused on anti-Semitism called Project Avalite in mid-December. And in preparation for that meeting, Andrew, rather than, go there and say, hello, how are you, and have a cup of tea, we did some preparatory work and we put together a dossier of events with evidence to give the AFP an overview of the sort of things that had been happening against the Jewish community in Australia. And to their great credit, they came back to us in just over a week ago and said that we've identified out of the material that you gave us a couple of matters that we wish to pursue, and they asked us to make statements, formal statements, which we did, and now they've made their first arrest. So they've moved very quickly on this particular matter, and it's refreshing because one of the concerns in the Jewish community since the 7th of October 2023 is that our law enforcement has not been focused, has not been taking action against the numerous anti-Semitic incidents and threats that have occurred across Australia.
Now, the police have not said what death threat they're talking about, but although it was levied, they say, against an association. Well, your Australian Jewish Association was sent a picture of a hangman's noose with a warning that not to go and give evidence at this inquiry or you would be killed, essentially. Now, a Blacktown man, aged 44, has been charged with one count of using carriage service to make a threat to kill, and another one of using carriage service to menace, harass, or cause offence. Did that threat, and we're not saying it was this man, let the law take it, and we're not even saying that necessarily was this instance, but did that threat stop you from giving that evidence?
I was contacted by the staff of the Senate committee the morning before we were due to give evidence and offered the opportunity to give our evidence in camera, which means out of the public view. And I declined that offer and said, no, our evidence should be given in the normal matter on the public record. And there were two of us, in addition to myself, Robert Gregory, our CEO, and I did our presentation. And the interesting thing also, Andrew, is that this particular Senate inquiry had nothing specific to do with Israel, nothing to do with the Middle East conflict. It was us engaging in the Australian democratic processes as any organisation can do, and nevertheless this threat came to warn us off, so to speak. We, at the end of our evidence, we made a statement to the senators to make sure that what had happened was on the public record.
David Adler, your Australian Jewish Association has been pretty strong in standing up to a lot of stuff. Thank you again for standing up to that particular example, and thank you very much for your time.